Hey everybody. So I want to address an issue that's come up for years in all the coaching work that I've done, but it's something that seems to be particularly insidious right now with what's happening. Sorry, there was a call that came through. Founders, CEOs, presidents, top of the chain. Most of the time when there's a problem in your business, it's oftentimes you. And it doesn't matter if you're a company of 4 or a company of 4,000. There are so many problems that exist in businesses because of the person at the top. And because of a number of factors, including ego, habit, culture, whatever it might be, they never address those issues and why they are the issue. Just as with an actual bottle, the bottleneck is always at the top, typically at the top. If you're doing things in a certain manner and you feel like you're overworked or overwhelmed, and you seek to blame others or blame technology and say, oh no, I don't have the right team members, or oh, this person's just, not, or I need this piece of software, we're waiting for this, we don't have this thing, we don't. You're always looking for ways to blame other people and other things. We're all guilty of it. I'm sure I've been guilty of it before, but I've seen this so many times. Remember, I've coached hundreds of people, individuals, and worked with hundreds of companies. I see this all the time and far too often, and I need to address this now because I'm seeing this now more than ever. For some reason, with this, with the pandemic, with what's going on, and with the changes that we're having to make, some people are digging their heels in even more that their way of doing things is the right way. And that's a huge problem. If you are doing anything in your business, doesn't matter what it is, email marketing, bookkeeping, the way you stock toilet paper in your facility, it doesn't matter. Anything that you're doing in your building or in your business, if you can't explain why, that's a problem. If somebody were to say to you, why do we do things this way? Why do we use that software? Why do we do accrual accounting? Why do we order from this particular vendor? If you can't answer why, you have a problem. And you are probably that problem. Because you're the only person who can get away with not answering that question. Anybody else in the company, if you were to ask a question, anybody else in your team, if you were to ask a question and say, why are things like this? And they say, I don't know. Nobody would accept that. You're the only one that can get away with it. And because of that, you take advantage of it. Maybe it's unconscious, maybe it's not, but I promise you in some way or another, you are taking advantage of that and it is messing up your business. So you need to start looking at why you do things you do. You need to be able to explain why you do things you do, and you might surprise yourself that that is the first step in optimizing, automating, and outsourcing what you do. There was a client that we had that worked with a law firm, and he was saying that the biggest bottleneck was the senior partner, because the senior partner had to review every document that went out. And so I asked him, have you ever documented his process for reviewing these things? And he said, no. He said he just does it. He's been doing it for 30 years and he knows how to do it. So I told him, why don't you stand over his shoulder next time that he's making adjustments, corrections and whatnot. And when he makes a correction, ask him why he did it. Why did you make that change? What was wrong with that thing that made you decide to do that? And again, if they can't explain it, that's a problem. But oftentimes when pushed, you can explain why. If you're operating with technology that is just the way you like it, and it's been that way forever, and you have thousands of documents on your desktop or thousands of emails in your inbox, but you're comfortable with that, that's a problem. Because nobody could ever step in and make sense of what you're doing. All you're doing is creating a big ball of twine that nobody knows how to unravel. I would go so far as to say, for most businesses that I see, If you, as the founder or the CEO, can't run your business or do what you need to do in your business from your cell phone, from your smartphone, you have a problem. If you need to be sitting at a desktop with big screens and all your files and folders all over the place, you have a problem. For many years ago, I did an experiment actually where I wanted to see if I could run everything in the business from my phone. And at the time, I didn't even have a team. There were some adjustments that had to be made. There were some services that I needed to use, some apps, some outsourcers and whatnot, but I was able to do it and run my business successfully from my phone. If you can't do that because you are set in your ways, I already said you have a problem. You got to start challenging yourself and changing your viewpoint. And all of us, every one of us as a founder, and I mean, I would say this for anybody in any team, but I see this with so many people that I coach. If you don't question yourself at least once a day, and I don't mean doubt yourself, but if you don't question why you're doing certain things the way you're doing it, all you're going to do is end up blaming other people, stressing them out and overwhelming them, blaming technology that will never live up to the needs that you think you have, and ultimately compound the overwhelm that you're experiencing now and making it much, much worse, if you can possibly imagine that. So take a hard look in these times, in these pauses, in the space that we have right now, and look at yourself and what you are doing wrong, because I promise you, all of you are doing something wrong. You just have to find it. I have used this opportunity to find several things that I am not doing well from a leadership point of view, and I can use that as a guidepost to do better. Find the thing that you're doing wrong, change it, fix it. We provide the resources that you need for most of these kind of problems. This new normal is not an opportunity to stick to the way you were doing things before. It's an opportunity to identify whatever, whoever is a liability to your business and remove it. Make it more replaceable, even and especially if it's you.